I'm just gonna go now and see what happens. What's going on, everyone? I'm here with Kunal and Zach, and you're from out of town, right?
Yeah, Missouri.
So he's traveling from Missouri, and Kunal said, hey, Todd, can you meet up so that he can check out the Plaid? And so we're here for round 2. But real quick, if you haven't seen, this is a 2012, because Kunal's like OG Tesla. I don't know if you watched our last video where we went out with him and his wife, but we kind of tell the story briefly. But he's been in a Tesla before, because you pre-ordered this in 2008.
Yeah, well,
right?
2000 might have been 2009 for the order part of it.
But still, I mean,
the reservation was
You saw it, you knew it was gonna be big, and you said, I want one of those.
Yeah.
So let's go through a brief tour so we can have a little comparison. I'll warn you, both of our cars are not clean, so we're okay with that.
We're good.
All right. So like a side-by-side comparison, I guess brakes first. I mean, what's the big brake comparison? I don't know any of the specs off the top of my head. I don't know if you do.
I don't.
So there's 2012. There's Plaid, obviously bigger. Okay.
No sensors. Not even ultrasonic sensors on these cars.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Okay.
The mirrors don't fold.
Okay. And I parked really far back, didn't
The
I?
markers.
So that's the other guy that was struggling to get through the parking lot. I left like 4 feet in front of the car. I don't trust the sensors in the front because I've almost hit curbs so many times. Yeah. All right.
Then we have no cameras on the sides. No cameras. No autopilot functions. No.
This is a super
radar.
Clean car, man. You've taken like exquisite care of it.
It has these little tabs for the roof racks, which most people always ask, what is that? It has a sunroof that's retractable, which is no longer the case.
Right.
So things like this badging didn't exist. The badging was sent to me in the mail, and I had to put it on myself.
Oh, really?
Yes.
That's funny.
So they just gave me some instructions saying, you know, so many inches below the tail light.
Oh, funny.
Put it on. Spoiler this is not the original spoiler on this car. The original spoiler was a gloss finished spoiler.
So did you cover it? Did you wrap it?
No. So
Just a separate
they
one.
replaced it at some point because it was starting to show some blistering from the epoxy.
And that was replaced by Tesla?
It was replaced by Tesla.
Okay.
This piece of trim here that has the raised lettering is also a replacement part. The original part was flat, and part of the reason it was replaced was because there was a bit of water ingress that used to occur because the original one had foam tape, and it had a window here, and you'd get water in it. So just a number of things that over time Tesla's continued to make improvements in their car, and through experience, through feedback from owners like myself, and to continue to make a better product. So that's the journey that they've gone through, the journey that us as owners have gone through. So from the interior perspective, these cars, the original cars, did not have a center console. That center console was added in later. This box, this did not exist in the original cars.
Okay.
It was added in. But you know, things like this carbon fiber trim and things like that are still, you know, these were the original, and they're still being used in that sense. And so just a lot of things that have changed and improved, but then a lot of things that are the same. The original seats, these are original seats. They have a little bit of Alcantara on the sides. They're quite comfortable in terms of driving, but they're not extremely bolstered, so that's something that was also addressed, and so the new seats are substantially better based on feedback that a lot of the owners provided. From an HVAC system perspective, the HVAC systems in the original cars were not the greatest, especially for the rear seat positions. So it's on almost a daily basis that if I have someone in the back seat, I have to sort of be aware that they're not getting enough air, and you have to move your vents to make sure that they're getting that. But that has since been also addressed in terms of the new cars, so they're substantially better over the years. So a lot of improvements from the 2012 to even the 2013, 14, 15s.
How about hatch and trunk space?
The hatch and trunk space is all very good. They're, these cars have been incredible in terms of how much volume space, and in fact, the front trunk, for example, because this is a rear drive only car, so it has a fairly large front trunk as well. We can look at that.
You can hear things are warming up for the battery. I put it in Dragstrip mode ahead of time. That's why that's on.
So it has a pretty large front trunk.
Oh wow. What's this? Premium rear console? There's a whole other cubby in there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of space in the front.
So they had this console that you could get that you could put into the rear, in between the rear seats.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And that was like an add-on?
It was an add-on.
It's just something that you keep here in case you need it?
Yeah.
All right.
I've just accumulated a lot of Tesla things over the years.
Right.
People don't know about that these were products that were made and had a limited life in some ways. And
Sure.
latches, these latches have been redesigned. They're not the same. The 2012s and some of the 2013s, if you have an issue with the latches, you have to go back to get the original parts.
Any change on like battery life or charge
No,
capacity?
actually, I've not had much degradation on the pack.
No.
I don't have a ton of miles on it, but even for the miles I have, because I didn't, most of the life of this car has not been supercharged. It's been slow charged.
Sure.
So that, I think, has made a big difference in
How many miles do you have on it?
It's got about 68,000 miles, so it's not a
You've had
ton
it
of miles.
since, you've had it for 9 years.
Yeah, but I have more than one Tesla, so it
Right.
goes through the rotation of
You have
driving
3 Teslas, right?
Yeah, we have 3 right now, so.
Awesome. Cool. Should we go for a ride?
Yeah, let's do it. That house there. House.
Man, I love the feel of the acceleration of these cars.
I can't tell just from a roll if it feels any different than the motor, but I'll definitely be able to see the draggy and be able to feel it from from launch. I really hope it's not diminished the power on the motor and I have to wait 2 weeks to. Was it 2 weeks? October 5th. I guess that's a week, isn't it?
Yeah, 5th is a week.
All right. Well, let's see. It's 100.
Wow. That's so cool.
Good.
Wow, yeah.
And like,
I thought your red car was fast.
yeah, no, that's, yeah. I took him for a ride in my red car yesterday.
Oh yeah. And that's the one you had the battery swapped out in and everything.
No, yeah, that's the one where we did the ludicrous mode upgrade on it. Yeah.
All right, this is a modified, slight downhill, slight uphill, slight curve 8th mile pull. Should we do it? Let's just do a launch. We're going into cheetah stance. We'll see if we can hit better than
6.3.
Yeah, better than 6.3, and we are ready. I can't. 20 there.
Yeah, you read it, didn't it?
Too sharp a curve here at the end.
20 mile an hour curve.
I know back there you're like, please don't keep going.
That was quick.
Yeah.
2.5.
And I love the dash one plaid.
Yeah, 6.3.
So is that supposed to be a Spaceballs reference?
Yes.
Is
it
that
is.
okay?
Oh, this is Baseball reference.
Yeah.
Flat.
Ludicrous. All right, that's starting to make a little more sense.
I'm just connecting the dots.
Yeah.
Alright, we got 6 seconds worth of downhill to uphill. I'm not gonna wait for Cheetah. I'm just gonna go now and see what happens. Still, yeah, I can have that. And I went off at about 110. Alright, breakdown.
So compared to my car, you notice how much difference there is in how hard it goes.
Yeah, it's a very noticeable difference.
Really? Not hitting 8 miles. It's 109. That was 6.2.
For the 8th.
Yeah, but I stopped. 2.30 to 60. Slightly downhill.
Oh, yeah, this
Pretty slight, yeah.
So
get an extra
that's a
400
big
pounds of
difference,
people, yeah.
right? So
All right, there we go. We drove around, we went on a couple of pulls. Nothing was really on flat ground. We went uphill, downhill, tried to do 8th mile, let off prematurely, did a couple of launches. Your impression after going for a ride?
It was awesome. I'm used to high-end gas-powered cars. I've worked with Titan before. They make very fast Supras. At least for a street car, this thing outdoes them. So
I have a 2015 Model S, and they've got the ludicrous mode upgrade, but this just is a completely different level. And I mean, that car is pretty quick, but there's the G-force difference that you feel in these cars compared to those cars is just incredible. And for the amount of time you feel it is very noticeable.
it's substantially different.
Yeah.
So then the main question is, when are you getting a Plaid?
Well, I'm waiting for the Roadster. So.
Oh, you are?
So yeah. So that's.
Man. He has to one up me.
So no, but I'm really waiting for the Roadster, and so.
You try
Elon,
and
please
talk
make
to
it
him.
happen soon. Sooner the better.
Cool. All right, well, there we are. We'll see you on the next video. Over now.
Thanks.